Yo, what's up? It's your boy Travis Bryant. Shout outs from Enterpersonal, and we are here with another episode of Meet Me At. And today we are at the Peachtree Cafeteria. This is like one of the major staples in Kansas City. If you look like me and you lived here and you haven't been by this place, you gotta question your Kansas City credentials. We're gonna have to pull that. So we're gonna have some fun. I'm looking forward to just figuring out how did this come to be. It's been around since before I was alive. So we can go in and we're gonna check it out. Not just the food, but the brains behind the food. Let's get to it. Good to see you, man.
Welcome to the Peachtree Cafeteria on Eastwood.
Yo, so tell me your name, man. Like of course we all eat here, but we don't know the mind behind. So give us some history. Right. Tell us, particularly why this location and what's your ties to this restaurant?
All right,
I bet you people don't know.
Yes, sir. So, the Peachtree opened up in July of 1996. It was with Miss Willis, Mr. Willis, and my father, Derek Wilmer. So Miss Willis is my grandmother. Okay. And that's how I'm tied to the business.
The OGs.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right. This building was actually a Payless. And so she made it work. My grandmother, she had 3 degrees, well, she has 3 degrees. Mm-hmm. And before she was working in the restaurant business, she was working at GM. My grandfather, he lost a job with Kansas City Public Schools. And so my grandmother, she always wanted to own a restaurant. And so she just made it happen.
Oh, so just threw that Hail Mary.
Yes, sir.
It's been 96, I thought it was older than that, so.
96.
96.
96.
So how you all manage, how's the whole COVID thing? I know.
So COVID
really
has
scared a lot of people.
COVID has been really tough, but we managed really well. As you can see, we switched to cafeteria style at the beginning of COVID, and it's been really smooth since then.
So as far as what are your hours? It made my heart glad to find out that it was still open.
Oh, of course.
Right?
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
because like I said, a lot of businesses, COVID hit, and you always had so much legacy and longevity. How? What's the secret?
The secret is in the food, man. The proof is in the plate.
Okay.
We're open Tuesday through Sunday, usually until about 7:30, 7 o'clock on Sundays. And Miss Willis, she opened this restaurant with her mother's recipes as well as her own recipes. And so the food stays consistent, people love it, and we keep serving.
So those our viewers who are not from Kansas City, what's the specialty here? What do you all specialize in?
Man, that peach cobbler. That peach cobbler is. Everybody loves the chicken, of course. Chicken every day. Fried fish.
Of course.
Fried fish Fridays. Man, we got plenty of desserts. Candy yams off the chain. Macaroni. That macaroni is a staple.
So this is that real soul food.
The real soul food. You ain't gonna get it nowhere else.
Okay. Yo, this is one of those spots where everybody knows it, but we don't necessarily know the history behind it. The fact that you guys have been going strong since 96.
96, and we've also had the Lee Summit location opened up in 2008, 18th and Vine, 2001. Peachtree Cafeteria on 12th Street, 2014. So we've been around.
Yo, that is amazing. Well, we're doing all this talking. Let me grab something to eat.
Let's get it, man.
To bless your boy. Dude. Okay. Yeah, my phone is trash. Let's not ever use my phone for anything. Thank you so much.
On video too. That's a blooper reel.
Yo, for real, don't even edit. Don't even edit. Throw that right in there. So spiritually, what path are you on?
Me? I'm very spiritual, believe in a higher power, but not what would you say? Jesus is Lord and Savior. Jesus, in my mind, is a prophet, just like Muhammad was a prophet, just like Abraham, and just like people. God talks to certain people or shows them certain signs and stuff like that. So it's just, but God said that there's only one God, and I'm that man, and I'm that person, and do not put no one above me because I'm a jealous God in the 10 Commandments. Right? So he laid it pretty plain. You know what I mean?
Christ, when they asked Christ, how do I pray? He didn't say pray to me.
Exactly. Exactly, and Jesus really taught us that any of us, we all are God's children. That we all can have that same type of abilities in him, and he's not like, so I don't know. It's just the way I was brought up. My father was in prison for.
Wait, we gotta record this.
What? Oh, I thought we already. It's recorded. We're on.
Recording?
Yeah, we're live.
We in there. We in. Continue, please.
So yeah, my father was in jail, 7 years. He went in when he was 17 years old. He got out when he was 24.
You're so sweet.
Yeah. I want some of that fried chicken, man. I know you're not gonna eat that.
You need that.
Here we
Go
go.
ahead. Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Share with the brothers. You can take both of them. Share with the brothers.
Yeah, okay.
You on camera? It's okay. Look a little good.
We'll take some home for the kids.
Yeah, we know where it is. Know how to front on camera. It's all right. Shoot, I didn't get it. Oh, it is right here. Thank you so much, love. Thank you. You guys have ice cream out here? Y'all don't have ice cream? We gotta do something about that. We gotta talk management. What you say? You were saying about your father?
Yeah, my father. So my dad, when he went to prison, he studied Islam. He studied Buddhism. He was a devout Christian because where he grew up. But and he brought me a lot of those teachings too, like when you read the Quran, when you read the Bible, it's saying the same similar things, But it's like people with the power that be just make people decisive and, try to divide them. But it's all the same, you know what I mean? It's all the same stuff, so that's just.
I've heard similar viewpoints spiritually. And I'm always, of course, I'm a Christian. But I don't even like saying that because the KKK claims to be Christians too. So I tell people I'm Bible believing, right? But I'm always curious about how people's spirituality informs their day to day.
Definitely.
I'm a Sabbath keeper. That's how the Bible informs my my behavior. Looking at your business, how is your spirituality and what part does it play? I heard you mention your father. It sounds like he's a major role. He played a major role in your life.
Definitely. So. My connection with God is what pushes me on that day-to-day journey, right? Where in my business, I'm helping small businesses and nonprofits with maybe a hurdle or a challenge that they're not used to doing, which is social media marketing. I feel like I'm helping them. You know what I mean? It's like when I see some of the light in my clients' eyes when I show them one little thing, they're like, oh, thank you. It's like when your business is your livelihood. You know what I mean? So when you're able to show something, help them with something that was missing with their livelihood, you see the difference. You get people in tears sometimes.
No, absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's like
I relate.
The audacity of me, who am I? They tell this 50-year-old businessman who has $1 million in assets, oh, you're doing this all wrong. You need to do it like this. You know what I mean?
So how do you handle that? So let's talk about intimidation, right?
Definitely, and it doesn't come from the outside; it comes from inside.
Gotta elaborate.
So
get my mouth together.
It's like it's that it's the confidence. Confidence comes within, and so does that what the opposite of confidence is that insecurity. You know what I mean? It comes from within, and people can see it. You can see it coming through. So it all starts within your mind. I don't ever show it during it. I'm winning that much.
You got the apple cobbler?
Right here. Y'all want an apple?
I need that apple.
Oh, you don't?
I need that apple.
So definitely just And you know, preparation is always the best. Anytime, like my favorite thing to do in school was presentations. I love standing up in front of my school classmates, in front of my teacher, and just staring at the person who's not paying attention. Like I need everybody at 99% of people paying attention with that 1%. I want you. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not good till I got you next.
So you knew at a young age you were gonna be doing something that had to do with
Definitely.
personal interaction.
Definitely.
But usually when you think about social, it's weird. So I'm on the counseling side of things. So when I think about social media, I don't necessarily think about people.
Right.
Right, so how were you able to tell the guy connected to, make people comfortable enough? Wait, let's rewind. What made you do this?
Right, so I've been doing business ever since I was 15.
Like a customer start feeding and leaving, so how can you incorporate them in the video?
Oh no, that's not what this purpose is. Yeah, no ma'am.
Why she wanted to try to feed you?
Oh, I'm not sure. We got some customers. There's a lot of movement. We're good. We're recording right now too.
Get it right, get it done.
But well yeah. So you know when I'm appreciate you. Thank you.
So excited.
Yeah. So as I'm gonna get some photos of that too. So as a kid, I was always like my grandfather owned his own business, and that was on my white side.
Got you.
He helped raise me. He owned a martial arts business, selling guns, knives, swords. I grew up in that business, okay? So I got to see a lot of what business was from an early age. I worked in this business also. And then, you know, I just took that entrepreneur mentality and ran with it. I remember a story that somebody told me when I was an adult that I didn't even know of. A kid I went to kindergarten with. I would buy stuff from my grandparents' business and I would take it to kindergarten and I would sell martial arts equipment to my classmates.
Every day I'm hustling.
And I'm in kindergarten, right? And I got like 100 of these stories. It's great because the kid told me, we're adults, I'm 28 years old. He's telling me the story about when we were 7. And I didn't even know it, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then he said, I went and I stole money from my mom to give to you to buy the martial arts equipment.
Yeah, everybody get a little busy.
He said, I got my ass.
Exactly.
I'm like, yeah, I kind of feel bad, but this is the type of person that I'm in. Like, people will go steal to make sure they pay me, you know what I mean? And because they all marketing, right? And then first grade, I'm getting paid $1 every day after school from the janitor to go and put the chairs on the desk, take the trash bags. I'm helping the janitor clean up my hallway. $1 every day. And then another student finds out, tells the teacher, and the janitor gets in trouble for it. You see, so
you got used to the hate early.
Yes, yes.
You got used to the hate early.
Like y'all don't like this, and because no other student is doing, no other student thought, dang, how can I make some extra money? I'm gonna help the janitor, boom, and that's nothing for him, you know.
Right.
$1 to a 10-year-old, 7-year-old kid, that's a lot of money.
That's all,
Every $5 a day,
yeah,
I mean $5 a week, like
elementary rich.
Right, exactly.
Rich.
So that was it, and then you know even after that, like I grew up on 10th Street, inner cities. Like you see the buildings from my backyard. So I'm going around knocking on doors. Can I cut your grass? Do you want to buy some candy? Making up an idea about a fundraiser. It wasn't even a fundraiser. I just went and bought the candy, broke it down, you know, selling to people door to door. I'm employing my friends, my brothers. Come on, y'all want to go? Y'all want to go make this money? Come on, we're about to go do it. Where everybody, y'all want grills? Because the song like, let me see your grill.
Right, Nelly.
That came out when I was a kid, right? So I came out as a kid. I'm like, hey y'all, let's go get some grills. They're like, all right. I said 3 weeks. We cut grass every day after school. We're gonna have some grills, and we got them. Yes, me, my brother, and his friend too. And that's the type of mentality. Whatever we wanted, we wouldn't blow that money at the candy. Go ahead.
So you as a kid, grills, got the brothers together,
Yes.
and got to work.
That's it.
What was your parents' response to all this?
Why would they what?
What was your parents' response to all this?
Well, my parents were laissez-faire, hands off, because my mother, her parents was controlling. My father, you go to church like 4 or 5 times a week type stuff, you know, so they were always like controlled. They wanted to do the total opposite with me, with my brothers and sisters. My mother ran away at 14 years old. she had me at 15 years old on the run. You know, my grandparents wanted to abort me because my mother got pregnant by a black guy. My grandparents are Trump supporters. You see what I'm saying? It's dichotomy, right? It's the yin and the yang. You know what I mean? But you bring that together because not one side is right. You know what I mean? It's usually the middle where you find the magic. You know, so I love that.
You be in that middle, obviously.
Exactly. So like my parents, like my father, he was rebellious, stolen cars, you know, gang, like that's why he ended up in prison.
Kansas City.
Exactly. So like they were like, you know, go out there, make your mistakes, do your thing, and then you're gonna see. You know what I mean? Like, and that really showed us. It gave us a lot of strength. We moved to Florida, and we were able to survive in the worst situations because our parents let us experience that at a young age. You know. So,
were there times where that kind of backfired?
Definitely.
The viewers want to hear those stories too.
Definitely, there's times where, you know, we were out doing dumb stuff. Like, I'm always trying to make money. So, always. That's just who I was. So, like, all right, for example, we take stuff to the junkyard.
Okay.
There's a junkyard right down the street. You recycle stuff, you get paid for it. You know, you got cans, you crush them. But if you put rocks in those cans and then crush them, it adds extra weight for aluminum. You get paid double.
You out here trying to scam the recycling?
I'm like 12 years old.
Protect the earth?
I'm 12 years old.
Okay, so it's in your blood for real.
And then it gets even more like, all right, we gotta find more stuff. There's times we got in trouble, you know, trying to take stuff or stuff like that, but it was always just for like a purpose, always trying to like build something.
Figure it out.
And then that's what really taught me at a young age, like I need to go to college. I need to go to college because I said I need to go to college because for some reason these white people, they make a business and it's huge. It goes, but then when we make businesses,
aluminum cans and crushed with
this
rocks.
ain't working, this ain't adding up, you know what I mean? I got just as much ingenuity as them, but they know something I don't know. You know, so when I went to college and I learned about an LLC, an EIN, how to, you know, separate your business from your personal, how to create a business plan, then I'm like, oh, so that's the difference. You see what I'm saying? So they actually know the book, and I want to learn their side with what I came with, which is that hustle mentality.
And I think that, let me look at the camera. So all our entrepreneurs, future entrepreneurs, that's the part that I see missing. So I work with different companies where I work with young entrepreneurs, and they come with their passion, right? And I'm like, well, you have to weaponize your passion, so your passion is producing. They just think because they got a good idea. Oh, you know, they wouldn't eating here. People might think like, oh no, you know, she just knows how to make bomb piece cobbler. It's like, no, she went to school.
Right. She
learned the business side of it, and then apply the passion to the business. So go and learn. Even if you don't go to school, you gotta educate yourself. Right? Like just think you gotta jump out here just because you got a good idea.
And that's perfect. I was talking about that just in class today with my students.
Lyrics, right?
Yeah, lyrics.
Shout out.
Lyrics Institute at Northeast High School. I was talking to my students. I'm saying, look, people always come up with the best ideas. Like, oh, I got this invention where you can do this. And then right when they're telling me that idea, I Google it and I show them that there's 30 other people doing that same thing and that it failed already.
Now. Yep.
And that's it, research. Market research is the thing that we don't do. We think we got the idea is so great in a vacuum. You see, until it's actually put out there into the world and it's going through trials and tribulations and actually see what works and what doesn't, then it becomes a great idea. You know, it's really just a theory. You see what I'm saying? It's really just what you know. But until it's actually polished, you know, and figuring out what works, what doesn't work, what is a competitor doing better than you? You know, what can you do better than your competitor? It's market research. Market research, most important thing to just see. That's what I did with my competition. I look, okay, so nobody's really focusing on small businesses and nonprofits.
Right.
Nobody is really providing an unlimited amount of content when it comes to a retainer method. You see,
Right.
everybody's doing per video, per product. I give you a video, you don't even know what to do with it.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying? So I looked at competition, I saw exactly what they was doing, and that's what I based my business plan off of. And then I saw that, look, if you could get a certain amount of clients on a retainer, and you have enough people to give them service, then the business plan, the business model
It'll
works.
run itself.
Exactly, it works itself. And that's the thing, it's just market research. And then that's what I saw, that there wasn't a lot of people that was doing something similar to what I was doing in this area. And then the more I grew, people all over America wasn't doing this. You know, now we work with one of the biggest churches in Missouri.
So what do you do exactly?
So we're a full service digital marketing company.
Oh, talk that talk.
Full service digital marketing company. So we build the social media platforms, we build your website, we create the content, video content, graphic design, and then we also distribute that content. So we publish that content on your Facebook, your Instagram, your website, and distribute it out there. So usually when you find a marketing company, they can only do one piece of that. They can only make the content and give it to you. They can only distribute content that they made for somebody else. You see what I'm saying? So there's not many people that can do the full service for a small business. Somebody that doesn't have a marketing budget of $2,000 a month,
Right.
or like $200 a month. You see what I'm saying? So that's a different level. And that's it. So we're just digital marketers. We're social media marketers.
Because right now, you don't have a social media presence.
And that's it. Our slogan is we give a voice to small businesses and nonprofits. In the internet world,
Like
this
that.
social media is your voice. And if you don't have a social media platform, people can't hear you. You see what I'm saying? So that's the main thing. Everybody's gonna ask, what's your Facebook page? How do I follow you? What's your website? You see what I'm saying? Google My Business is one of the most important platforms. First thing anybody does when they look for something is Google it. You can go and make a social media account on Google. You see, most people don't understand that.
No, they're not.
So Peachtree, for example.
I'm learning something new. Go ahead.
Peachtree, for example, we got to go on there. We got to make sure our hours are good. We got to make sure if anything changes, we update it. For example, here they're getting rid of buffet. So now this is not a buffet. But because it said buffet on Google, you get people coming in and getting mad. She had to change the sign on the highway.
The cafeteria.
Exactly.
That's why it was changed.
So these are the things that this stuff matters in your business, and most entrepreneurs don't understand all the little things that go.
Because they don't even understand their passion.
And then they just focus it on their passion. Exactly. Instead of seeing, like with me, like why, and I had to compare it to white businesses. I had to compare it to that because all I knew was black businesses. You know, I knew my grandparents. That was a white business that I knew, but I'm like, why? That was a good juxtapose. Look, that white business does this, but these black businesses never even get off the ground. 90% of businesses fail after 5 years. I just hit my 5-year anniversary in June, last month.
You said how much?
90% of businesses fail after 5 years. 5 years.
Oh, that's what I mean. 1 out of 10 make it? Oh, okay.
and I just made it to my 5-year anniversary last month.
Congratulations.
Yes. You know what I mean? So I think that was a huge for me. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
I always see these statistics. People are always telling me this. 5 years went by like that. You know what I mean?
So tell us how that first, like when you first started, what were some of the pains you went through? Because you got the background, you got the hustle mentality.
Right.
You found the passion. You found your niche. Now it's time to build the business.
Right. I love that. That's a great question. So I was watching this new show I've been watching. It's called Shameless. It's an old show, but I've been catching up on it. It's
Gotcha.
really good. I think
I've heard of
you
it.
should watch it because I know you don't watch TV, but it's very interpersonal, therapeutic, like teaching how somebody goes from zero, like could be definitely like distraught, like have their parents put them in a home, not take care of me. All the reasons why you need to be an addict, why you need to be a piece of shit the rest of your life, and then come out of it. Like this is, you know what I mean? What I feel like what you do is help people see who you are inside. You know what I mean? So, but I'm watching it, and she asked one of the characters asked this lady who's a millionaire who owns all these buildings. She was like, dang, how'd you do it? Like, how'd you start the business when you started off? She said, starting a business is like skydiving. She said, some people will never ride a plane. They will never fly on a plane. Some people will, even if they get into the plane, they will never jump. You see? So that's the level.
following.
You know, that's the level of getting in the plane. That's creating the ideal, the business plan. When you come, oh, I got this business.
Right.
But then when you strap it up and hop out, that's when you actually go out there.
Give out the bush.
Yes. You know,
Yeah.
and that's the mentality that I had to do straight up. Because I didn't have that what would you call it, that fear. There's a lot of fear and uncertainty when people start businesses. Of course it is, you know. But it just figures out who you got to know who you are in the mirror. You know, I already knew. I was willing when I first graduated college, $30,000 debt. My first client was paying me $50 a month. And I'm like, oh, what are you doing? Said, like, I'm talking to myself later, like, you know, or I said, calculating it, and this is gonna take a long time to figure this out. You know, I'm like, no, stick with it. And then one client, $50, then I had 3 clients pay me $50. And then after those 3 clients paid me $50, the next client paid me $150.
So you stuck to the plan even though
I did not see the
reels was
return.
touching.
I did not see the
Reels
return
was
right
touching.
away, you know, but I
Right.
had the idea and I had the plan and I was gonna stick with it. You see, so you know, you gotta go out there on faith. You gotta bet on yourself. You know what I mean? Even if you lose it, you gotta hop back and come back. You see, so there was times where it was down where I'm like, all right, like my first client was a barber. Paid me $50 a month. I knew him from high school. But every person that sat down in this chair, I gave my business card to. And they called me and they hired me. I started my business right there by charging him $50 a month. And then I got my $150 client from him from there, and then just kept going. And each client that I signed brought me 3 clients. That was my goal. Every person that I sign gets me 3. And if I keep that same mentality, they give me at least 3. That's exponential growth. You see what I'm saying? So like that's the mentality that I kept pushing with, just stuck with it. And then the biggest client paid me $1,500 a month. You know what I mean?
You ever so you got the hustler mentality, right? You got the perseverance, you got the plan, you're executing the plan, things are going slow. Did you ever think about abandoning? Like, do you ever think about just quitting, or were you just like, look, skydiving, either
We already fallen. You know what I mean? There ain't no quit. There ain't no quit. There's only a convert or evolve.
Okay.
You
No,
see
you
what I'm
got-
saying?
Teach me something. Teach me something.
Like, you don't put in too much work, too many connections. You quit. I say you quit, you kill yourself. That's the level of quit. That when people say, oh, I don't quit, no. When you quit, just go ahead and just kill yourself. That's the level that I think that doesn't exist. That doesn't exist to me. You know what I mean?
So you were like, this a bust.
It's it. No, literally, like, even if I had to go back to charging people $50 a month.
That's what it's gonna be.
That's what it is.
I think that what people miss.
There's an option for them to quit.
Not just that.
You know what I mean?
I think the whole, you said the statement, betting on myself.
Right.
So I think what people miss is that you have something to bet on. They don't develop skills, they don't develop identity, they don't develop passion, they don't develop their strengths. They just, I have a good idea, go out the window. And what I'm hearing from you is it's almost like when you bet on yourself, it was a logical bet because all the investment you had done since you were a child.
Exactly.
I think people miss that in the whole I believe in myself conversation.
And that's the thing too, is like, one thing I'm trying to find that I'm really surprised of, because my parents enforced me into me as a kid, is that even when I'm talking to my students, is that we don't have dreams. You know, we don't have dreams.
Oh, you about to get other people pissed off?
And I'm like, why? I asked me, and they're like, I don't know what my dream is. I'm like, what the fuck? I knew what it was when I was 6 years old, and it changed. But I always knew I want to do this.
You knew the general direction.
Literally, when I was a kid, I wanted to be an astronaut. Obsessed with stars. Wanted to be an astronaut. Then watching Star Wars, I wanted to build a robot so I can have the robot help my mom clean around the house. So I'm collecting like parts from cars and all this stuff, thinking that I could make a robot. And that's not how robots work. But I still did it. And then once I realized that's not how robots work. So, you know what I mean? You gotta actually do this. Then I'm like, oh, okay, you know, but I still had that goal. I had to go to be in the NFL. You know, I had to go to college. That was one of my biggest goals, because going to college was like going to the NFL. My parents told me at 10 years old, if you don't get a scholarship, you're not going to college. This is at 10 years old.
I gave a fuck.
So at 10 years old, I was like, thank you for letting me know that.
Right.
I'm about to get an athletic scholarship and I'm gonna get an academic scholarship and I'm going to college. And that's exactly what I did. Worked my ass off in football, would run around the block 10 times, 5 a.m. before school, in middle school. You know, I would do because I was like, that's what I gotta do because I gotta get out of here. I'm not gonna wanna stay in the hood. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm hearing is that your parents, in their wisdom, instilled a work ethic and they let that flourish. And I think as a people, we have a very good play ethic. We don't have a good work ethic. Right. That self-determination. No one's pushing you. No one's patting your back. Nobody's validating your effort. You're doing it because it's something that you're preparing yourself based on the goals that you have, and you're starting with you.
Definitely, and that's where it starts.
I can't get in the gym, but I can run this block.
Exactly, it starts and ends right there. You know, and it starts and ends with you. I was also telling, you know, my students yesterday too. I said, I took the success in my own hands. When you start a business, you are either building somebody else's dreams or you're building your own dream. Okay, when you work for somebody, you're building somebody else's dream. When you start your own business, you're building your dream. There's nothing wrong with building somebody else's dream. I need somebody to help me build my dream. Okay, you want to work with me? Let me know. And everybody has that, right? So you are, but those are the two things that you're doing. When I was a kid, I got so mad when my bus driver was late to pick me up. I was heated. I'll get to school, I'll miss first period, and I'm like, how all these people here are smarter than me now. They are one day smarter than me, and I'm pissed. So guess what? I'm not dependent on that bus no more. I would run 4 miles to school. I would have my school clothes in my backpack and I would wear my gym clothes and I would run to school and I'd be the first person in line. I'm not dependent on no school bus for my success, and I'm gonna end up saying, oh man, the reason I didn't come to school was because my bus was late. No, you don't have that excuse, dog. That's why you're gonna say that's the reason you didn't succeed, because you missed the school bus. No,
that's a word right there.
No,
let me sip my ice water. I don't know like ice.
Like that's it. Like, and I took it in my own hands. I was gonna. My dad, he didn't like when I got a job because he wanted me to always, you know, pursue and hustle and you know, create my own. But I was like, you know what? I don't got an idea right now. I want to get a job. I want to work at McDonald's. Right? I'm in freshman year in high school. I want to work at McDonald's. Okay, you can work at McDonald's, but I'm not giving you a ride. Don't worry, I'll walk. And I got a bike and I did it all. Well, that's it. There's so many excuses. You know, but the only person, when you say the reason I failed was because of me, then the reason you succeeded was because of you. So that's the same thing. If you could take the success and put it all on you by yourself, you should be able to take that defeat and put it all on you by yourself.
I think a lot of it has to do with where we look for scapegoats.
Exactly.
Right, because the dream is scary. Jumping out of a plane is terrible.
Straight up.
And so it's like, oh, well, you know, I couldn't get to the plane in time, or the pilot was sick.
Right, or there was too many turbulence. It was windy that day.
My tummy. And I think I tell my clients, every excuse is justified if you want to justify it. Every excuse is justified.
Right.
There are a million great reasons not to do anything.
Right.
A million great reasons. Those who succeed, ignore them. And that's really what it is. Those who succeed, and we're talking about entrepreneurship, right? Owning your own business. I'm hearing your energy, I'm hearing your hunger, even still after seeing some success. Right. And it's like, that's what it takes. And I think that's the element that's missing, is that hunger, that, yo, I'm gonna get it any means necessary. You know, we believe in God, so of course within some ethical, no New Jack City stuff, right? But like, really, yo, this is what I'm doing. Right. And it does. It takes you being willing to ignore all the reasonable reasons to not.
And that was the same thing with like me in sports. Like, you see, this is my football championship. I got a football scholarship in college, right?
What college did you go to?
Baker University.
Shout out.
Baker University, wow. So, but I played football since I was like 12, since I was like 10 years old. And I was always the littlest guy on every team. But every team that I was on, I got the MVP. Because I was the littlest guy working the hardest out of everybody. the first person out.
Back to that work ethic.
And that's it. So like, even people say, that's why people also say, they say, fake it till you make it, right? But that's not what most people think. Like, it's fake it till you make it, right? It's about your energy. You see, when you come in and you're like, man, I don't want to do this. I got this going on. Fake it. You gotta fake it, and then eventually you're like, oh, I'm good now. That's the fake it till you make it. Even though you might be going through some messed up stuff, and just fake to other people. You know, fake to other people that look. You know, it's good that we can still get through it. Because look, me telling you my bullshit is not gonna help you right now. We got a job to do.
I would even say, like, I think it's learning to it's persevering while you're evolving, right? Because I don't see that as faking it.
Right.
You're just having a bad day, right? It's just that day does not define.
Exactly.
Right, just like a good day doesn't guarantee long-term success, a bad day doesn't condemn you either, right? So I look at it more like when I'm working with addicts right now and teaching them, hey, look, you have to persevere as you evolve because evolving hurts. Just going things.
Definitely.
That's what it takes. You know, when you talk about jumping out of a plane, you got to go through a training in order to do it. That costs money, right? You even wondering, am I gonna even do it if I get up there?
All this that I invested and then I don't do it, and then this is, and that's another thing that I was talking to my team about. Anxiety has a lot to do with thinking about the future.
Oh, it has everything to do with it.
You know what I mean? And
it has everything to do with thinking about the future.
9 times out of 10, you can't control it. So you are worrying and fucking up your present because of something that might happen in the future, might or might not.
It's fantasy.
Exactly. So that's another thing.
Definitely fantasy.
If you just really just embrace the moment, then that's where the fear comes from. The unknown. You see what I'm saying? So the more we live in the moment, the more we can get comfortable, you know, with ourselves in our future and take it as it comes. You know, that's one of the.
But I think it's easier to do that if you put in the prep work.
Definitely.
Like if you put in the prep work, and I think what I'm hearing a common theme is that work ethic and preparation.
Definitely.
And willing to do whatever to get it done. Put in the work with yourself.
Right.
If you put in the work with yourself, it doesn't matter what team you're on.
Exactly.
You know, because you've been cultivating the work ethic since you were, and I think a lot of entrepreneurs, that's not spoken of enough. Beautiful ideas, incredible passion, there's no work ethic.
Right, and the work ethic, I think when people hear that, it's kind of intimidating. You don't work hard enough. And this is what I do. I bring it down simple, okay? Don't worry about like working hard enough and all that. This all you have to do right here. Take a baby step. Every day. Every day, if you take one little baby step, you're gonna be there. Just a little one. Look, all day like, oh my, I'm so tired and I don't want to do it. But you got this one little thing that you gotta do. And I figured this analogy out when I was walking across a 3-mile bridge in Florida. Because remember I told you I would walk. Because if I didn't get a ride, I'm gonna get there.
Also, this was in Florida.
This is in Florida, yeah, this is in Florida. So after I got done working at McDonald's, I would say, I wanna go to the beach. I wanna go to the beach and chill. I would have to get over a 3-mile bridge to get there. Nobody would give me a ride, so I'm walking. I'm going to the beach and hopping in the hot tub in the ocean. You see what I'm saying? And it's just cars going past you, right? And in the middle of the bridge is like a big arch, so boats can get under it. Right. So when I'm walking, I'm looking at the destination. I'm like, damn, so far. You know what I mean? Because I'm just staring at that final point.
Right.
And then I said, look, just look down and just put one foot in front of the other. And that's what I did. And I just stepped, and then I looked up and I said, I'm almost there. And it wasn't until I changed the way I thought. And then you think about this in everything that we do. When you're at school and you're looking at the clock all day. You see, like, this thing is moving so slow. And then once you focus on what you're doing, and then you look up, you're like, where'd the time go? That's the mentality. So if you focus on one little step, the rest will take care of itself. That's what's wrong with us. We want to take leaps and bounds. We're like, why am I not at the destination yet?
Where is money at?
Where am I not there? You know what I mean? Instead of just worrying about the one little foot in front of the other.
And they have a saying, the next right move. Like just focusing on the next right move versus you have your goal. Of course, you gotta make sure you go the right direction.
Yeah, so you got your intermediate, you got your long term, but you gotta worry about every 24 hours. Every 24 hours. And I tell my people that all the time. You have 24 hours just like me. I don't have more hours than you. I'm not cheating. You know what I mean? We all got the same 24 hours. It's just how do you use your 24 hours compared to me? When I first started my business, I used 18 hours. I wanted to use as much as possible. I wanted to see if I didn't want to do. No, I'm not going out. I'm not doing none of that. I'm not watching TV. I'm not watching Netflix. I'm trying to figure out how to
stepping on my toes.
my craft. You know what I mean? Hours, seeing how many, because we all get 24 hours. That varies though. You know, some days you were 18, but then some days where you say, if you don't take one step forward, you took 3 steps back. Every day. So every day, if you work an hour on your business, that's enough. That's enough. If I work 18, 19 hours, that's enough. You know what I mean? You don't have to work 19, but you have to take one step every day.
You gotta do something.
Just one little one.
You gotta, I think we get so preoccupied with money, we forget we gotta invest in that.
Right.
That was a hard lesson for me. Right? Just understanding, like, I know the talents that I have is unique. Didn't understand marketing, didn't really understand business. I just jumped out, was like, I'll figure it out when I get there.
Right.
I wish I would have invested in self a little more. I wish I would have slowed down instead of just trying to jump to the final destination. Now I have to go backwards because I have bad habits, kind of thing.
Definitely investing in yourself, and that's not just good, like not just like, you know, spiritually or for your business, but even financially.
Yeah,
it's a tax write-off. you see what I'm saying? So I invest in my business, and then that's what I have to pay less on taxes on, because I'm putting stuff into my business.
A lot of people get LLCs and don't even understand, like,
what's the point of an LLC, right? People don't understand that the point of LLC is a limited liability corporation. So what does that mean? I limited my liability in this corporation. So if somebody gets mad at Evolving Digital Media, Cedric, you didn't do what you wanted to, you didn't do what you said, they can't come take my Tesla.
Right, they can't come at Cedric.
You see, they can't come at Cedric. Go at Evolving Digital Media. That's his own person. That's what's so great about America. When you create a business with an LLC and an EIN, you just made a whole person.
You just made a whole person.
With a whole new line of credit. Yeah. You know, a whole new person. When you create an LLC and EIN, that has a whole new line of credit. So now I'm building credit in that business's name. I have cards in that business's name. And I can do that as many times as I want.
Here's the crazy part. And that's part of the game too. So I think, yes, we want to have the work ethic. Yes, we want to have a purpose. But listen to other people who've done it, so you can learn, like, how to move.
Right.
No one told me. I had a business for 3 years. No one explained the line of credit.
Exactly.
I said, what?
Exactly.
I knew about the write-offs. Then I said a lot of credit. They're like, oh yeah.
Exactly, and that's
credit score.
We don't know what we don't know, and we don't know what questions to ask. You see what I'm saying? So that's definitely the thing, is finding those people who have already done it, taking in their information, and then going and finding that more information. Like the internet, Google, YouTube has so much info right there, but we'd rather watch cat videos. You see what I'm saying? So when I'm watching videos on YouTube, I'm getting knowledge. I'm learning from that, and I'm so good at recall. If I can watch something, I can recall. Oh, don't you know back in 1972 that, you know what I mean? Like that's my favorite thing. But that's because I'm always feeding myself, you know. And then that's just good with it in conversation.
Feeding myself, always feed yourself.
And that's a good in conversation when you can sit down. I can sit down with a $1 million Trump supporter. You sit down with $1 million Democrat very supportive, and they both on a level. You see what I'm, because I know how to communicate to both of them, and neither one of them is wrong. We want to stay in our box. I just want to like the stuff that I like. No, then you ain't gonna be able to communicate and connect with anybody else. I want to connect with everybody.
There's so many entrepreneurs I know who are great at what they do, and they're horrible communicators. I'm just like, no one's going to talk to you. And just, I love what you said as far as like feeding yourself. Because we're always feeding ourselves. It's just, is it junk food or is it
Right.
And being intentional about what you're feeding yourself, what you're feeding your mind. Because as an entrepreneur, your mind is your strongest asset, right? And so hearing how you just, I mean, we gotta get on camera, I have some questions. I'm like, so exactly how
We go as long as we want. We got 30 minutes.
Look, because that line of credit conversation, we don't talk about these things. A lot of what, part of the reason I want to start this series, because what I've seen, our attitude about entrepreneurship is running with more than ego than growth. I'm my own boss.
Right.
And I'm like, you might as well be an employee.
Right.
Or the difference between being self-employed and actually having a functioning business that's running without you.
Right.
I correct people. I have a nonprofit, I have an LLC. I might know I'm self-employed. My business does nothing without me pushing. I'm trying to get with all media, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to expand that. That's where I am right now, and that's okay.
Right. And you're going to have a boss, no matter what. Like, for me, I have 200 bosses. You see what I'm saying? My phone rings right now. Yes, sir. Yeah, do you need anything? Miss Beers, Cedric, get over here. I'm running over there. You see what I'm saying? So they're my boss. But that's the difference. When you are an entrepreneur, you get to choose your bosses more. You see what I'm saying?
To me, it's all about the freedom of, I get to manage my time the way I want to manage it.
Exactly.
Right? I get to determine who manages me.
Right.
You go to a job, whoever your supervisor is, that's your supervisor. Right? Like, as a builder, like, as a business owner, I'm like, I don't want to work with you. Right?
And come back to the ego, you know, that you were talking about. When you start a business, most people like, why are you starting your business, right? Start your business not for money. When you do anything for money, it will not turn out good. Okay, it will not turn out good, because even when you get it, then you will not get what you want. So money, you gotta have something that you want more than money, and that's where we bring in a vision. Before you start a business plan, you come up with your vision. My vision was to bring a voice to small businesses and nonprofits. That was my vision, is to make sure they did not have a voice. There was no marketing company that was getting their word out there. You see, so that was my job. I want to do that for all the barbershops, the rappers, the nonprofits that are just doing it by themselves. I want to help them get online.
No, he really does. No, like, he's not. Let me just talk about your business. Right? Let me just talk about your business for a second. So, like, again, referred to by someone I know, Kyle.
Yep, Kyle.
Shout out to Lyrics Institute. What's it? Is it lyricsinstitute.com?
Lyricsinstitution.com.
Yo, check it out. Summer program. Just plug in, right? But Kyle was like, oh yeah, man. In fact, he even introduced me to you.
Yeah,
we're in a meeting together.
Right.
And I just heard you talk, and I was like, man, again, going back to the money versus passion thing.
Right.
You need the passion, because your passion is what attracts people. You just need a plan.
Right. On how to get money, because you got to pay for bills in this monetary system.
Here we are. You know what I mean? Oh, man.
We're good, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
This is really filthy. I had a massage and I'm feeling like, am I food drunk right now? Anyway, so yeah, we're in a meeting together, and just for your passion, but match your skills. You can hear when someone's skilled versus somebody just talking. And I saw the passion. Everything he said about small businesses, no budget, I didn't even understand. So I do counseling, right? Interpersonal relations. I'm not built for this, right? And so I was like, man, and we connected. And I'm saying this for all businesses, humility will keep clients, right? So we first started, it was moving slower than you thought. I was like, yo, bro. He was like, don't worry about it. Bill on me.
Right.
I'm still gonna get this content for you.
Right.
I was like, oh, you got me for life. You got me for life because of that humility, of the passion, the skill. You know, so let me give you a roses while they're here. Like, and then he rolled up. He rolled up in the Telsa, and I was like, so what do you do? What? Oh, okay. Because you were able to show, no, I get it in.
Right.
I actually do this. You know, and so if you're having an issue, which most of us are, a lot of us are limiting our passion, right? Like your passion locks you in, right? I don't do astrology, I do psychology. Right. Right. This is my passion. It locks you in. But because of the world we live in, we need help having our voice, our business voice heard.
Right.
If you're a small business, he's told no lies. This whole everything you're seeing right now, the energy, that seriousness, that know-how, is no bluff. In fact, one thing I can guarantee you, as far as people we interview here, if they bluffing, you'll see it, because I ain't gonna problem pulling cards. I'm just saying, you know.
Straight up, definitely.
What you think this is? You know,
That's your job is to see through people.
I gotta help you see yourself.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But like you understand this small business and the struggle of it. I know there's other ones out there. I don't know who they are. But we're talking about, I don't believe in supporting black business. I believe in supporting black competent business. You all need to hit him up. You know, he's gonna have this information.
816-469-7791.
Oh.
And that's another thing. My business, this is 24/7 business. I tell my clients, I'm like, you ready to put your number out there? We don't have a phone number. Are you gonna get a business line, or do you want to use your personal number to be your business line? Are you serious about it? I'm involved with digital media 24/7. Whoop. You see what I'm saying? So call me. I'm answering every single time. Whoop. If I'm in a meeting and I'll put your voicemail, I'll call you right back. But that's the time I'm going to put my personal number out there, and that's what anybody can reach me anytime. You know, and that's what if you're serious about it, that's why when you start a business, it's like having a child. It's literally having a kid, and you're watching that kid grow. You're watching that kid start new things and reach new achievements, and fall down and scrape his knee, and you picking it up and scraping it.
It's hard. It's hard and expensive to be a parent.
Exactly.
Like, I understand. This thing costs like.
And anybody else wants to mess with your business, you're like, no, this is my man, this is my kid. You know?
You gotta give it time to grow. Also.
Yeah, but then you want your kid, you want your child to be
socialized
by other people too, right? And bringing other people into your business, you want to hold them so tight. No, that's not what my business is supposed to do. Like, you got to give up a lot of that stuff so it can grow.
My business has evolved, grown and turned, and I think we've been around for about 4 years. Just like that, right? And so what you're saying is absolutely true. It is very much like having a child. It's very much like watching that child grow, and as a parent, letting it grow.
Right.
Right, like your business may go somewhere and grow in a way you weren't expecting.
Right. And if you don't give your child enough time, enough nurturing, then that kid can turn totally different. Right, exactly.
I do pay education for the state. It's very hard to parent. I feel like I keep plugging myself in here. But it's very hard to parent with an ego. As a business owner, it's very hard to grow your business
with the ego. Right.
And so, yo man, this has been a pleasure.
And bringing it back to ego, I love that. I love talking about ego, because to sacrifice your own ego, there's this saying that logic says, and I think about it all the time, put your ego on the shelf and love yourself. Like, ego is not loving yourself. Ego is not loving yourself and I'm the best. No. Ego is putting somebody else down to make yourself feel better. Right. You see what I'm saying? Instead, sacrificing your ego, lifting up other people, actually makes you feel better about yourself.
We're built to serve.
You know what I mean? Exactly. And then J. Cole's new song, Pride is the Devil.
I was playing that yesterday.
That's my favorite song right now.
Oh man.
You know, and that's it. Like, I listen to the song, just every time you break down each concept, each lyric, it's like when you look at that and you gotta fight that devil. It is pride. You know what I mean? When you can put that stuff down, then your eyes open up to so much more. You know what I mean? So that's where your heart is too. Like, ego will put that fence around your heart.
It'll make it impossible to grow.
Exactly.
It's like a casket.
Exactly.
You can grow with it.
So yeah, straight up.
Yo, man, I appreciate you, bro. This is beautiful.
Yes, this is great.
The food was good. The company was great. Oh man, I think
Check
I'm a
out
food drunk,
Travis
though.
Bryant, Interpersonal.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's a personal.
Touch KC.
We out here, TravisBryantJr.com. Got a book on the way. Got a book out. Dating Intervention.
Kids book coming out soon
Yeah,
too.
for sure, man. Like a lot of projects in the air. That's why I need you in my life. Jeez, I'm doing all this stuff. I'm like, man, who's gonna hear it?
It takes a team. It takes a team. Like Tiger Woods doesn't cut his own grass. Like Tiger Woods could not win the PGA Tour if he had to worry about cutting his own grass. Okay, so Tiger Woods finds a landscaper to do that, so he can focus on golfing and making millions of dollars every day. So I'm the landscaper. I'm cutting your grass. Okay.
Because it seems like, it's something you can do yourself.
But you only get 24 hours.
You ain't got time.
You only get 24 hours, just like
don't
everybody
got time.
else. You know, so if Tiger is cutting his grass, he's not playing golf. You see? So that's the difference.
Yo, man, I'm full. I'm full here. I'm full here. I'm just full, man. Be sure to share this. Again, this is about us having honest conversations, so we can help each other grow. I just want to get it straight from the source. I want to create an honest space, no BS, limit time offer if you hear from the horse's mouth, so you can be better prepared, right? So you can avoid some of the mistakes I made as an entrepreneur, some of the mistakes he talked about, how to avoid that, and then pull from our strengths. So next episode coming soon. Love you guys. Our relationships are our most important resource. Make sure you continue to manage yours. Till next time.
Cool.